We're so excited to continue our conversation around the power of coaching and coaching mindset. My name is Kori Stevens. I'm the Senior Program Manager for the Southern Regional Child Advocacy Center around chapter development.
And I'm Emily Chittenden-Laird. I'm the Director of Southern Regional, and we're happy to be back with you today.
So we thought one of the best ways to really demonstrate the power of coaching would be to do just that, to demonstrate what maybe typical conversation might look like between you and another individual without coaching mindset or perspective. Then we'll stop and then we'll show and demonstrate what it might look like to really embrace the coaching mindset and the coaching process. So I will be the coach, and Emily is coming to me with her challenge of being very, very busy. Is that right? Okay.
It's like the most universally identifiable thing. So, and authentically true for me most of the time. Okay. So, Kori.
Yes.
It is Monday, and I have a to-do list that is like stressing me out. So I am looking forward in the week, and I know how much time I have in meetings, which is a lot actually. And I know how much time I have blocked for my to-do list, and I have lived long enough to know that it's not all going to happen, and it's kind of stressing me out.
Okay. Well, have you scheduled things on your calendar?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So, so why aren't you able to keep those commitments that you've already scheduled for yourself?
Well, it's not that I'm not able to keep the commitments. It's like it's not enough time. I just have too many things.
Okay. Well, have you tried taking some things off of your to-do list?
Well, no. Yeah. Okay. And scene. So you all can see, I mean, that's kind of the way that we're used to going for consultation. And Kori was very much in the advice giving mode right there. And as a person experiencing that, it's not helpful for me that she's given me advice. Obviously, some of her advice were things that I'd already done. Some of her advice weren't really getting at the real issue for me. Mm-hmm. And I think that unfortunately, this is just our experience of the world most times. And it's a lot of times what we have in staff supervision and just like even mentoring relationships. And so that's why we really don't think that this is the most effective way that you can offer support to other people. So let's try it again, but this time with a coaching framework, coaching mindset.
Excellent.
Okay. Hey, Kori.
Well, hello. Welcome.
Hey. So I'm really busy this week. I have way more than I feel like I can get done, and it's stressing me out.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you believe is the greatest challenge in that for you this week?
Okay. I think the greatest challenge is it's actually a challenge of allegiance. It's so funny that you asked this because I have allegiance to our internal team, and then I have allegiance to external partners. And I think that that's where I'm feeling more of the conflict. Like who do I hold up my end of the deal with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you were just to dial into this week, what feels most important for you to accomplish?
You know, we have a new grant that we're kicking off, and I just want to make sure that our team is on solid footing to get that going. I know there are a lot of external like people pulling at me as well, but I think that I will feel more grounded if I can help our team get set up for success around this new grant.
Okay. Yes, I've heard, you're really balancing relationship, but also task. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, how do you balance that allegiance while also staying grounded? What can you do to hold both true this week?
Well, you know me, so you know that it is a challenge for me. I think I can get pulled to task really easily. Like that's where I feel myself getting pulled. And I think that's even the issue I brought you with. It's like I've got this crazy task list, but I know that I'm actually a better version of myself when I show up and with like relationship prioritized, which is, I think that's why your question was so good, because it's not the tasks that will help me like lead the week feeling like I did what I need to do as a leader. It's actually the relationship with a team.
So my last question for you, in order to say yes to grounding your team and being invested in those relationships, what do you have to say no to this week?
I think I have to say no to the imaginary timeline I made up for myself for some of these tasks. I think I put these things on my calendar, but this is actually not a real external deadline. I think that it's like an impossible standard I was holding myself to. So I think if I just, it's like not even an external communication. It's actually just being more realistic about my timeframes.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And scene.
And scene. And scene. So that was very different, as you could see. And I think from sort of the coachee's perspective, what was different for me is that Kori was asking me to go deeper in myself and really identify what was the issue and what was at play, which you can see the contrast between what you just saw and the earlier example, because I identified really different things in this situation. Kori, what did you see in me that was different this time?
Yeah, so what I loved was, we could have kept going for obviously a very long time, but you probably saw that Emily came to this self-awareness around self-imposed deadlines. That is a significant barrier, I think, for a lot of people from a busy perspective. So we were able to really open up like where she holds values around relationships, that the word allegiance that you used, but really moving us to like look at the root of the problem rather than just kind of a band-aid solution, which is what we're trying to get to in that first advice giving mode. Was like, did you put it on your calendar? Did you what can you cancel? So the second iteration that you saw was much deeper, like, and you saw Emily have to pause and even think about the questions, which is a really good sign that you're engaging in a coaching mindset, coaching process, using really powerful questions. And just energetically, I could sense like you were more open to exploration than in the first one. It was like frustration of like, I've already tried all of those things. So as someone who's engaging in that, you can probably pick up on that, that sense of whether things are generative and we're creating possible options, or we are being constrained with things that aren't necessarily supporting us.
Yeah. And some qualities I appreciated in you this time, Kori, is that you were deeply listening to me. I mean, I think that you just shared the word allegiance. It's so funny. You hear, I think, whenever you're really listening, words that jump out to you like that. And that's a perfect example. I think that there are often things at play and you hear it in the person's language. So I thought you did a great job at that. The other thing that I loved about the way that you showed up is that your questions were short. Like you didn't go on forever, which I think is easy to do. And because they were short and then you left space and silence, you trusted me to do that sort of like going in and going down, which is what really helped me get to an important place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the other red flag that I wanted to point out from the first one was that I used a why question. Those are questions that we really want to stick away from when we're trying to get curious. And I even felt weird saying it, Emily, because I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna shame her because she hasn't done it. Like why questions tend to put people on the defensive. So if you notice in that second round, the questions were short, but they were also a lot of what questions, as you've heard already in some of our content earlier. So yeah, just just really paying attention. This can feel awkward if you're trying this on for the first time as a leader. I say, like, practice these skills with people that you feel really comfortable with and ask for feedback regularly as you're practicing this approach, maybe in supervision or in a meeting structure of any kind. And, part of learning something is experimentation, taking some notes, failing, coming back, trying it again. So it was really fun to be able to demonstrate this with you, Emily.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I love about this demo is, it was 4 questions. You asked me 4 questions. And I think that sometimes it can be intimidating and you think, gosh, I just don't know if I have like an hour to get this person, which, like you said, we could have gone on for an hour. But I think that in this little example, you can see how even one question that's curious, powerful, and all the qualities that we've already discussed can really shift things in a conversation. So we hope that you're able to just like play with this and practice it. If it's new to you, hopefully you can review some of the content we've already shared on powerful questions and on coaching and a coaching mindset earlier in the content series. And just a reminder that we'll be back here on Wednesday for a live Q&A at lunchtime. And so come with your questions. We can't wait to see you then.
See you soon.
Have a good week.